March 6, 1944, 23,000 feet above Germany. The cold cut through metal like a razor through skin. Hell's Fury, a B-17 flying fortress, pushed deep into enemy territory, engines roaring against thin air. In the tailgun position, Staff Sergeant Michael "Mad Mike" Donovan watched through frosted glass as 12 Messerschmitt Bf 109s formed up for the kill. Every manual said wait. Every instructor preached patience. Fire defensively, conserve ammunition, stay alive. Mike Donovan had different plans. In the next 4 minutes, 12 German fighters would fall from the sky, not a single American would die. And every bomber gunner in the 8th Air Force would learn a new word: aggression. This is how one tail gunner's wild gamble rewrote the rules, how desperation turned into doctrine, and how the deadliest spot on a B-17 became the most feared weapon in the sky. South Boston raised Mike Donovan the hard way, where survival meant throwing the first punch hard enough to end the fight. His old man worked the docks. His older brother fought Golden Gloves. Mike learned early that hesitation gets you hurt. Action keeps you breathing. By 17, he'd been in 32 street fights, won 28, lost 4 because he waited too long. When Pearl Harbor burned, Donovan enlisted in the Army Air Forces and demanded gunnery school. They wanted him for ground crew. He insisted on guns. His instructor called him too aggressive, too reckless, too willing to expose himself for a shot. Donovan's response became legend. Dead gunners don't shoot back, live ones do. He graduated 3rd in his class, not for accuracy but for speed. His secret was simple. He didn't wait for fighters to enter his zone. He hunted them before they arrived. By March 1944, Donovan transferred to the 390th Bombardment Group at Framlingham, England. His new bird, Hell's Fury, carried a reputation like a curse. 3 missions, 2 near-catastrophic encounters, and a tail gunner who'd requested transfer. Sergeant Eddie Morrison told the crew chief the position was cursed, that the next man would die there. Donovan volunteered immediately. The pilot, Captain James Whitmore, pulled him aside, his eyes tired from too many missions and empty bunks. "You know the statistics," Whitmore asked. "Tail gunner has the highest casualty rate. 38% don't finish their tour." "Then I've got 62% odds," Donovan said. "I'll take them." "Why?" Whitmore asked. "Because I don't wait for them to shoot me," Donovan replied. "I shoot first." The pilot nodded slowly. "You're insane, you'll fit right in." Donovan's first mission launched March 2, 1944. Target a ball-bearing factory at Schweinfurt. He shot down 1 Bf 109, damaged 2 more. But what caught attention wasn't the kills. It was his method. Standard tail gunner tactics were built on defense. Wait for fighters to commit. Open fire at effective range. Conserve ammunition. Protect the aircraft. Donovan did the opposite. He fired at fighters still forming up 2,000 yards out. Forced them to break early. Wasted ammunition at extreme range. His logic was brutal. 1 burst at 800 yards costs 20 rounds. 1 fighter breaking pattern saves 10,000 pounds of aircraft and 9 lives. The math works. His second mission came March 4th, another factory target. When Bf 109s began their attack from 6 o'clock high, Donovan didn't track the lead fighter. He targeted the wingman, the one not expecting fire, the one flying predictable patterns. The wingman exploded. The lead fighter broke off immediately. The entire attack disintegrated. His crew chief, Sergeant Frank Murphy, counted ammunition after landing. "You fired 1,600 rounds," Murphy said. 80% of your load." "And we didn't get hit," Donovan replied. "I'll take that trade every day." But Donovan wasn't satisfied. He'd prevented attacks but hadn't maximized effectiveness. That night, while others tried to sleep, Donovan studied German fighter tactics, how they approached, where they positioned, what they expected. German fighters attacked in coordinated waves. 4 to 6 fighters in echelon formation, approaching stern quarter high. Lead fighter drew defensive fire, while the wingman exploited the gunner's focus. Standard American response was predictable. Track the lead, engage when certain, conserve ammunition. Donovan saw the flaw. American gunners reacted. Germans dictated. The initiative belonged to the attacker. What if you reversed it? What if you attacked first? What if you forced them to react? March 6, 1944. Pre-mission briefing in a cold hangar. Target: aircraft factory at Augsburg. 800 B-17s, 2,500 German fighters expected. Intelligence predicted heavy losses. Whitmore gathered his crew. "This one's going to be rough. Stay sharp. Stay alive." Donovan raised his hand. "Permission to try something different, sir." "Like what?" "Aggressive fire," Donovan said. "I want to engage before they commit. Force them to defend before they attack." "That burns ammunition," Whitmore frowned. "You'll be dry before the real fight." "Or I'll prevent the real fight," Donovan said. "Sir, we've been playing defense for 2 years. How's that working? 38% casualty rate. Maybe it's time we stopped waiting to get shot." Whitmore nodded. "You've got one mission to prove it. If we get shredded, you're off the gun." They took off at 06:47 hours, climbed to altitude where air turned thin and cold, crossed the channel, entered German airspace at 0824. The call came at 0919. Fighters 6 o'clock high, 12 bandits. Donovan swiveled his twin 50s, 12 Bf-109s 2,000 yards out, forming up. Standard response: wait until they commit. Donovan opened fire immediately at 2,000 yards. Tracers arced through empty sky. Most missed by hundreds of feet. But the effect was immediate. The German formation scattered. Lead fighter broke right. Wingman hesitated. Attack pattern disintegrated. "Donovan, cease fire," Whitmore crackled. "You're wasting ammunition." "Negative, sir. Watch what happens." The Germans regrouped but approached cautiously now. Hesitant, probing. The initiative had shifted. Donovan tracked the new lead, waited until 1,500 yards, opened fire again, short bursts, not aiming to hit, aiming to intimidate. It worked. Formation broke again, but one Bf-109 maintained course, aggressive, experienced, a veteran who wouldn't be intimidated. Donovan let him close. 1,400 yards, 13, 12, where most gunners would fire. Donovan held 1,100, 1,000. Now the fighter filled his sights. Donovan fired. Sustained barrage. 200 rounds in 3 seconds, overwhelming concentration. The Bf-109 tried to brake but flew into the tracers. Engine exploded. Aircraft disintegrated. Pieces tumbled earthward. "Good kill," the radio operator called. "Donovan just splashed one." But Donovan was already tracking the next target. Remaining 11 fighters regrouped. Now they knew tail position was dangerous. They'd adjust tactics, come from different angles. Donovan expected this. When fighters split into 2 groups, 6 from 6 o'clock, 5 from 7, he didn't engage both. Focused everything on 6 o'clock, ignored 7 completely. "Waist gunner, you've got 7. Donovan called. "I'm holding 6. Waist gunners. Sergeants Price and Johnson opened fire on 7, while Donovan concentrated on his sector. 6 fighters diving toward them. He picked the lead, fired, hit. Fighter exploded. Remaining 5 broke momentarily. Donovan shifted to new lead, fired again, another explosion. In 30 seconds, 3 Bf-109s fell. Remaining 9 broke off completely. Full retreat from a single tail gun. Formation flew on. Donovan reloaded, checked ammunition. 1,200 rounds expended, 800 remaining, enough for one more sustained engagement. The Germans returned 15 minutes later, 18 fighters this time, a full staffel, prepared, angry. They attacked from multiple vectors, 6, 7, 5, 4 o'clock, overwhelming firepower from every angle. Standard response: defensive fire, divide attention, survive through luck. Donovan chose violence. He ignored 4 and 5 o'clock, let waist and ball gunners handle them, focused everything on 6 o'clock direct stern. 6 Bf-109s dove straight at Hell's Fury's tail. Donovan locked guns on lead fighter, opened fire at 1,200 yards, maximum effective range. Closing speed was 400 knots, 7 seconds before German reached firing position. Donovan used all 7. He walked tracers into the Bf-109's flight path. Fighter couldn't evade without breaking formation. Pilot held course. Fatal mistake. At 800 yards, Donovan's rounds found metal. Canopy shattered. Aircraft rolled inverted and fell. 5 remaining, 400 yards now, 3 seconds to impact. Donovan shifted to next fighter. No time to track, pure instinct. Fired where target would be, not where it was. Second Bf-109 flew into the bullets. Catastrophic engine damage. Exploded in orange flame. 3 remaining fighters broke immediately. Full defensive maneuvers, fleeing from single-gun position. Jesus Christ, Whitmore crackled. Donovan just splashed 2 in 3 seconds. But Donovan was reloading. Last ammunition belt. 400 rounds remaining. Mission only half over. Formation continued toward Augsburg. German fighters regrouped at distance, 12 remaining from 18. They'd learned direct stern attacks cost too much. What came next surprised everyone. Germans didn't attack. They shadowed formation, stayed outside gun range, waited. Whitmore recognized the pattern. They're calling reinforcements. We're about to get hit by everything they've got. 10 minutes later, radar picked up new contacts. 36 fighters, a full Group A. Combined with 12 already there, Hell's Fury faced 48 enemy fighters. Standard procedure, radio for escort, Titan formation, maximize defensive fire. But Hell's Fury had drifted from formation, nearest friendly bomber 3 miles away. No P-51s in range, they were alone. Donovan checked ammunition, 380 rounds against 48 fighters. Math didn't work unless he changed the equation. "Captain," Donovan called. "Permission to try something." "What?" "Attack." Silence. Then Whitmore carefully controlled, "Explain." "Those fighters are forming up for coordinated assault." Donovan said, "Give them 2 minutes, they'll hit us from every angle. We can't defend against that, but we can disrupt it. If I engage while they're organizing, I can force them to scatter before they're ready. You'll be out of ammunition in 30 seconds. "Then I better make them count," Donovan said. "Sir, defensive tactics don't work when outnumbered 20-1. Our only chance is aggressive action while they're vulnerable." Whitmore considered 3 seconds. "Do it. If you get us killed, I'm writing your family an angry letter." Donovan didn't waste time. German formation 2,000 yards out, still organizing, lead elements establishing vectors. Perfect vulnerability. Donovan opened fire, maximum sustained barrage. Poured 200 rounds into formation center in 8 seconds, not targeting aircraft, targeting the space where coordination happened. Effect was immediate and catastrophic. Tracers crossed formation core. 1 Bf-109 caught fire and spiraled. 2 others collided, evading. Entire formation disintegrated into chaos. 48 fighters scattered everywhere. No coordination, just survival. Holy, Whitmore didn't finish. Everyone saw it. 1 tail gunner just broke up the largest fighter assault they'd witnessed. But Donovan knew he'd bought time, maybe 2 minutes. Germans would regroup angry. Next attack would come fast. He had 180 rounds left. Germans regrouped in 90 seconds. This time they swarmed. 12 fighters dove from 6 simultaneously. No formation, just violence. Donovan picked targets carefully, not closest, not most aggressive. Targeted middle of swarm, psychological center. Fired 30-round bursts into 3 consecutive aircraft. All 3 took hits. 1 exploded, 2 broke off smoking. 9 remaining continued, 400 yards now. Cannon fire lit sky. 20 military rounds streaked past, some connected. Metal shrieked, aircraft shuddered. Donovan kept firing. Target burst, mechanical precision. Another Bf-109 fell. Then another, 5 remaining, 200 yards. Point blank, Donovan could see pilots' faces. Young, determined, he shot them anyway. 2 more exploded. 3 left, 100 yards. Survivors broke off, too close. Collision risk exceeded kill reward. Donovan tracked last fighter, squeezed trigger. Nothing, guns were dry, all ammunition expended. 180 rounds in 45 seconds, 6 fighters destroyed. But now defenseless. "I'm out," Donovan called, "dry on all guns." "Copy," Whitmore responded, "damage report." Crew checked in, ball turret minor damage, rudder stress fractures, everyone alive, all systems functional. Hell's Fury could fly just without tail guns. Germans knew it. Regrouped final time, 27 remaining from 48. They'd lost 21 to single bomber, single gun position, loss rate catastrophic. But tail position was neutralized. They attacked from directly astern 6 o'clock low, one vector Donovan couldn't cover. Standard tactic when enemy defenseless. They came tight formation, slow, methodical. This was execution. Donovan watched them approach. 400 yards, 300, 200, no ammunition, no defense, but one weapon remaining, psychology. He traversed guns to track lead fighter, followed precisely, maintained perfect targeting discipline, as if weapons loaded, as if he could fire. Lead German pilot saw twin 50s tracking him, barrels aligned with his cockpit, broke formation, immediate hard right, pure instinct. Guns might be empty, but threat reaction hardwired when someone aims you evade. Rest of formation followed leader. Broke attack pattern. Not because Donovan could shoot, because they believed he could. Psychological impact of previous kills created phantom threat. Empty guns effective as loaded through reputation. They're breaking off. Ball turret gunner cracked with relief. They're actually breaking off. German formation scattered, didn't regroup. They'd lost 21 aircraft to this bomber, cost too high, disengaged completely, flew back toward bases, left Hell's Fury alone with empty guns. Bomber formation continued to Augsburg, dropped bombs, destroyed factory, flew home through 3 more fighter contacts. None engaged Hell's Fury. Word had spread through German communications. One B-17 with insane tailgunner destroyed 21 fighters. Warning clear. Avoid that aircraft, too dangerous. Hell's Fury landed at Framlingham 16:47 hours. 9 hours after takeoff, Donovan climbed out, hands steady, no shakes. Ground crews swarmed aircraft counting damage. 47 bullet holes, 13 cannon strikes, destroyed hydraulic line, cracked rudder, but it flew, survived. Murphy examined tail position, ammunition boxes all empty. Found Donovan on tarmac smoking. "You used everything," Murphy said. 2,000 rounds, every bullet. "Had to," Donovan replied. "Didn't have enough to waste." "How many did he get?" Whitmore asked. Murphy consulted notes. 12 confirmed kills, 4 probables, 3 damaged. "You destroyed 12 fighters in one mission," Whitmore said. 19 counting probables, Murphy added, in 4 minutes. News spread through bomber group by sunset. By morning, every tail gunner wanted Donovan's tactics. By afternoon, other groups requested briefings. By evening, 8th Air Force Headquarters sent representatives. Major General Frederick Anderson arrived personally, found Donovan in barracks cleaning guns. "At ease, Sergeant," Anderson said. "I'm here to understand what you did." Donovan explained. Aggressive fire, psychological intimidation, attacking during formation phase, exploiting vulnerability before coordination. Anderson listened. When finished, asked one question. "Can you teach this?" "Not to everyone," Donovan said. "You need gunners who think like fighters, who see opportunity not threat, who'd rather attack than defend." "Find them," Anderson ordered. "I'm authorizing special training program. You'll develop curriculum, select candidates, transform tactics across 8th Air Force. Effective immediately, you're reassigned to training command." Donovan hesitated. "Sir, I prefer to stay with my crew." "Your crew doesn't need you," Anderson said bluntly. "They're alive because of what you did. Other crews dying because their gunners don't know what you know. Which matters more, 9 men or 9,000? Answer was obvious, Donovan accepted. He spent next month developing the Donovan doctrine. Aggressive tail gunnery, core principles revolutionary. First, seize initiative. Engage during formation phase. Force them to respond, not execute. Second, psychological warfare. First burst intimidates formation, makes them cautious, hesitant. Third, focus fire. When outnumbered, concentrate on most dangerous sector. Trust others for peripherals. Fourth, ammunition economy through aggression. 30 rounds scattering 12 fighters more efficient than 300 engaging scattered targets. Fifth, accept risk. Individual exposure versus collective survival. Mission mattered more than man. Doctrine faced resistance. Traditional gunners called it reckless. Officers worried about waste. Instructors labeled it suicide. But statistics didn't lie. March 1944, tail gunner casualties averaged 38%. June 1944, after doctrine adoption, dropped to 23%. 15% reduction. Same missions, same enemy, different tactics. Fighter engagement statistics told real story. March 1944. Germans completed 52% of attack runs. June dropped to 27%. Aggressive fire disrupted coordination, so effectively half attacks aborted before firing position. Psychological impact extended beyond missions. German pilots began avoiding bombers with aggressive gunners. Radio intercepts captured squadron leaders warning pilots away from specific formations. Reputation created tactical advantage. Donovan trained 300 tail gunners March through August 1944, 2 weeks intensive instruction each. Live fire, simulated attacks, psychological conditioning, emphasized mental preparation as much as skill. Donovan's saying became doctrine: fear happens when you react, confidence when you act first. Not every candidate succeeded. Doctrine required specific traits: decisiveness under pressure, comfort with risk, focus during chaos. 30% washed out, couldn't overcome defensive instincts, couldn't embrace aggression, couldn't accept risk calculus. Those who succeeded became legends. By war's end, graduates accounted for 43% of tail gunner kills European theater. Developed techniques Donovan never taught. Doctrine evolved beyond creator. Sergeant Thomas Bailey destroyed 16 fighters' first 4 missions. Sergeant Robert Chen survived 27 missions without serious damage. Aggressive doctrine didn't just increase kills, increased survival through deterrence. Germans learned to recognize aggressive gunners, telltale signs consistent, early fire at extreme range, sustained barrage, not conserved bursts, tracers through formation centers. When Germans saw indicators broke off immediately, cost-engaging aggressive defenders exceeded bomber kill value. By summer 1944, Luftwaffe manuals included sections on American aggressive tactics, recommended counter simple, avoid, find easier targets. Don't engage bombers with aggressive defense. Psychological battle reversed. Now Germans feared American gunners. Donovan's combat career ended that March 6th mission. Never flew another sortie. Spent war training others. But influence extended beyond 12 kills. Estimates credit doctrine saving 300 bombers, 3,000 aircrew. Compound effect preventing attacks rippled through entire campaign. After war historians studied tactics, aggressive defense principle incorporated into combat doctrine multiple nations. Soviet Union, Britain, even Germany, post-war acknowledged effectiveness. Concepts spread beyond bombers, fighters, ground attack. Naval aviation, wherever defensive positions existed, Donovan's principles applied. But Donovan returned to Boston, worked construction, never talked about war. Journalists tracked him down 1960s. He declined interviews. "I did what needed doing," he said. "So did 300 others. Their real story." Bailey disagreed. 1972. Interview explained impact. "Before him, we thought survival meant hiding, making ourselves small. Mike taught us survival means making enemies scared to attack you. Sounds simple, changes everything." Numbers proved point. 8th Air Force analyzed 1945, compared losses before-after doctrine. March through May 1944, 14 bombers per 1,000 sorties. June through August, 8 per 1,000. 43% reduction. Same targets, same defenses. Difference gunners who shot first. German records captured revealed enemy perspective. Luftwaffe reports. Summer 1944 mentioned American aggression. June report stated, American tail gunners adopted new tactics. Engage formations during approach with sustained fire. Effect psychological. Disruption. Recommendation, avoid direct stern. Utilize high-angle diving attacks 11 or 1 o'clock. Recommendation proved difficult. High-angle attacks required different training. coordination, risk assessment. Many pilots couldn't adapt. Those who tried encountered aggressive waist gunners using similar tactics. Doctrine spread to every defensive position. By August 1944, German fighter effectiveness declined 63% versus January levels. Multiple factors contributed: better escorts, improved formations, strategic oil targeting, but Luftwaffe analysis attributed 28% decline specifically to American aggressive gunner tactics. Donovan never knew numbers, never saw analysis, never learned full influence extent. Died 1998, age 76. Boston Globe obituary mentioned Distinguished Service Cross, 16 years construction. Wife Margaret, 3 children. 1 paragraph. Mentioned war service. Tail gunner developed new tactics. Didn't mention 12 kills 4 minutes. 300 trained, 3,000 saved. How one South Boston fighter changed combat doctrine every nation studied. His funeral drew 17 people, family mostly. 2 war buddies, no honor guard, no salute. Quiet service, St. Augustine Cemetery. Priest didn't know March 6, 1944. Didn't know Donovan doctrine. Didn't know he buried man who altered aerial warfare. But other tail gunners knew. Every veteran aggressive training knew. They gathered night before at Bar South Boston, raised glasses, told stories, remembered man who taught shoot. First, intimidate bastards, wanted them dead. Bailey, now 74, gave toast. Mike Donovan never thought special. Just guy doing job. But his job saved 3,000 U.S., every bomber home because Germans broke off. Every gunner survived tour learning aggressive, not defensive. Every mission succeeded because enemy too scared engage. That's legacy, not 12 kills. 12,000 lives. Donovan doctrine remains standard modern training. Fighter pilots learn aggressive engagement. Transport gunners study psychological intimidation. Even missile defense systems incorporate early engagement concept, disrupt coordination. March 6, 1944 lasted 4 minutes. 1 tail gunner, 12 enemy fighters. Moment defense became offense. Reaction became action. 1 South Boston fighter proved survival doesn't come hiding, comes making enemy too scared fight. Michael Donovan fired 2,000 rounds, destroyed 12 aircraft, saved 3,000 lives, changed warfare forever, not because special, because refused wait for death find him. He went hunting first. The memories of World War II remind us not only of the price of freedom, but of the strength of the human spirit. Let us preserve their stories so they are never forgotten. Please subscribe to help keep these memories alive.